What do you think that Coach Laso made Coach Laso special during the time that you were there? Because it's also to a certain degree simplicity, but I think there's
Right.
also a lot of psychology involved in terms of like freedom and adapting and communicating with the players in a certain way where we also have to consider that it's the Spanish culture that you have to also integrate because certain styles don't fit outside the country that you play or certain communication styles. So what was
Right.
Pablo Lasso's style of reaching the players and having them bought in as Coach K had his players buy in into Duke?
Right. So those two, I would say, very similar in that regard, because I mean, Pablo Lasso is a great X's and O's coach, but let's say he's not, I wouldn't put him in my top two, top three in Europe, but I think he's one of the best coaches as far as having guys to buy in. And,
Yeah,
when you have 14 or 15 guys that can start for you any single game,
it's
it's
difficult.
very hard to manage egos, and manage and having guys to stay ready and to believe in it. So I think he's very good at navigating that type of stuff where
Hmm.
he will talk to you on the side. He will, you may not play in EuroLeague on Thursday or Friday and you're all down, and then all of a sudden you're starting in ACB the next game and you're all of a
Hmm.
sudden you're back up, and you're ready. And so he's I would say he's done, and obviously he's done an amazing job, because you look at the track record since he got to Real
Yeah,
Madrid, all
yeah.
the championships and trophies and everything, but it's, I think he's done a tremendous job just navigating personalities and egos, and while on top, still coaching at the high level and having X's and O's. But yeah, um, I think he's very good at that.
I think if I might add to that, I never met him. I just saw him from the outside and then scouted him a lot. But in terms of, like you said, navigating and managing all the personalities and all the depth of a roster, there's a lot of intuition that comes to it. Intuitive coaching, intuition in terms of personality. Like you said, you're not playing, you're down. He sees that, he feels that. You have to have a feel, not only feel for the game, but feel for humans, feel for the players,
Correct.
and you have to also be able to relate to them in the
Hmm.
same language. And you see, because as a former player, you also feel what the player is feeling.
Correct.
So I think from the outside, it looks like that's his biggest strength in terms of like having the intuition and feeling what the player feels and giving
100%.
empowering him or them.
Empowering them, yeah. And another thing is, giving players freedom,
Hmm.
because like I was always fascinated with Spanish basketball style, so to speak. Remember all those national teams where they just played fast and
Yeah.
transition threes and that kind of stuff, and that's not coached. Like for example, us as Lithuanians, we're all about the schemes and just first action, secondary action,
Executing.
third
Yeah.
action, executing until you have the best shot. Spain and Spanish basketball is so different as far as just you have a
Yeah.
lot of talented players, and you give them the keys to the basketball and to the freedom. And since they're high level basketball players, they execute. And so he did a lot of that, where it's there's sets or there's certain guidelines, but there's a ton of room for
Hmm.
improvisation.
Hmm.
Guys improv, and I think, naturally, organically, that kind of, you find the best way and best basketball, in that sense. But also, I do remember one great example where I can't remember, it was my first year or second year, but, it was in the middle, it was a grind of the season. It was February or early March, to where,
Dog
it's
days.
one of
Dog
those
days.
dog days. Exactly. The dog days. And maybe we lost a couple of games or whatever. And I remember we went to Malaga. And even in Madrid at that point in February, whatever, the weather is crappy and it's cold. And you go to Malaga and it's sunny and it's nice, and we play a game and I believe we lost the game, And I'm used to a lot of this, where you lose, it's, the head is down, you're going to have a hard practice next day and this and that. And he comes in the locker room and he's basically like, listen, guys, like we need to reset. We need to, so he basically just tells us, hey, get dressed, get showered. We go to the hotel. If you want to eat dinner there, or, whatever. It was actually lunch because it was, noon game in ACB. But he's like, you can eat lunch, whatever there. But guys, go not out, but like go have a couple of beers. You know, just whether it's
Re-
all of you, whether
yeah.
it's in couples or whatever, go enjoy it. We don't have, our train is not until like next morning or something like that. Like go reset, we'll have a day off tomorrow. But just really, we need to kind of, the grind and the pounding, that's not working. So, hey, go, coach saying you like, go have a couple of beers. You're like, wow, like, okay, sky's not falling. Like, it can be better. And then I remember after that point, we just took off, and we went to the Final Four of the EuroLeague, and it was just, so the little examples, of just like how you can, as a coach, just kind of change the, the perspective or the, the morale of the players and the team.
Again, so, intuition.
Yeah.
I like and honest to himself. Because some coaches, I believe, they may be feeling it and seeing what the team needs, the freedom to reset or to just get away, but just can't get over them that they have to work, you have to put in hours, you have to do extra, and then there's a tipping point where it's just like there's no returning after that, So
right.
I think that speaks to his strength, to being able to be honest to himself and seeing what he sees and like actually following through with his thoughts and giving the team the freedom, because at the end they pay you back. You give them the freedom, right. They pay you back. Right. If they don't play. So it's I think 100%. It's something that I've seen it happen also in my own eyes, and I feel like that's modern day basketball, a true honesty. You hold them accountable, but you also give them the freedom to be themselves and to see that certain things are not working, and we have to change, and we have to maybe loosen the strings a little bit to give them a little bit of breathing room.
100%. Even even a guy like Sharas or even Pablo Laso. I remember when we would come to practice, and you think you're going to have a hard practice, and all of a sudden we play soccer instead. And then it just like the mood lights up, and everybody's happy, and you're just. But I remember Sharas used to do that a lot. Maybe Coach Krapikas, and joggers. So like those things help. Where you completely for one day you reset, you change. The grind, the everyday, stress and all that, and just kind of reset. So those things definitely help. I've seen and I've felt it.